Alright, I think I promised you guys a review of The In League, written by Rick Remender with art by Matt Broom and Sean Parsons. This is the first volume of The In League. I don't know how many volumes there were. This is only the first 4 issues. There's at least one more volume, because it does leave us with a to-be-continued threat at the end, and I did not like this book. I already hinted as much in another video, but I was trying to wrap my head around exactly what did not work about this book. And for one, it does suffer from the XP problem, which I went into much more detail about in another video. None of these characters feel interesting to me. It's just not Superman, not Wonder Woman, not Hulk, not Batman, not Ghost Rider, not Captain America, and they don't feel developed beyond those very basic archetypes. And that doesn't work for me already, but also I feel like the story is just structured very poorly. So on page 1, we find out that not Superman, he caused a huge global apocalypse. He, without thinking, accidentally sets off some alien bombs that then result in like 3 billion people dying, I think, and then many more people becoming mutated. And then many years later, not Lex Luthor kills many of the heroes. And so as of the start of the story, we are living in kind of a post-apocalyptic world, definitely post-apocalyptic. There is at least one city that still more or less operates as a city. It's run by not Lex Luthor, but I don't really feel like there's any focus in this story. Issue 1, we are introduced to not Superman and the In League, and they are going to go and try and steal some food from not Lex Luthor. I don't know if they have like a large civilian populace that they are trying to protect in the end times, or if it's just them living at their headquarters. That's not established, but they are going to go and get some food, and then that's when everything hits the fan. Well, it's Thor from mythology, who acts a lot like Hulk. He shows up, and then in issue 2, he kills not Superman, who was the closest thing to a main character that we had. And then it feels like the book has no idea what direction that it wants to go from that point. Throughout the rest of issue 2, let's see, not Wonder Woman goes back to Olympus, and then we see her again briefly in one of the last 2 issues, and then you've also got not Captain America and not Ghost Rider and not Lady Flash, and she's been injured, and so then not Captain America, not Ghost Rider spend several pages arguing about whether what they're doing is pointless and whether they should keep going, and then not Ghost Rider, he goes and he's looking for a healer to heal Lady Flash, but then this demon comes in and possesses Lady Flash, and then, or possesses her, and then possesses not Captain America, and then he ends up killing Lady Flash, I think, and then the demon possesses not Ghost Rider, and then he kills not Captain America. We're also introduced in like issue 3, I think, to not Batman, who was spying on not Lois Lane, who had started a religion in not Lex Luthor's city, centered around not Superman. And then not Lex Luthor has her kidnapped and then reads her mind so that he can know where the hero's secret base of operations is. And it just feels like there's a whole lot going on, and I think this story would have been much better served if we could have just focused on one character. Give us not Spider-Man, and let's focus on him throughout the entire story. And you can see some of these events through that one character's eyes, and then it will feel like there is one single narrative thread that everything kind of centers around. But the book doesn't do that. The book is trying to do a whole lot of stuff, and then just when you get used to focusing on one thing, then that thing stops being important, and then you're focusing on something else. In a way, it reminds me of the first book in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, A Game of Thrones, where you start off with the Stark family, and then Jon Snow goes to the Wall, and then Ned and his 2 daughters go down to King's Landing, and then you've got Mama Stark, Catelyn, with her remaining 3 sons. They stay at Winterfell, but then she goes to talk to Ned, and then she gets kind of goes on her own story, and then by the end of the book, huge spoilers for a Game of Thrones, Ned Stark is executed. And then you might be saying, well, who's our main character now? But you have spent almost 800 pages focusing on all of these other characters. And so now that Ned is dead, you don't feel like you have wasted time with this book. Because now you think, okay, we've got all these other characters who can also be the main thrust of the series. And this kind of pulls a similar trick with not Superman dying in issue 2. Unfortunately, it hasn't given me any reason to care about any of these other characters. And we're still over halfway into this 4-issue book. We're still introducing new characters that I'm supposed to keep up with, and I can't. There's one guy, I don't even remember his name. I don't even remember if it tells us his name, but he is talking to not Spider-Man, saying like, hey, you have a crush on that woman over there, but she's a lesbian, so you just need to let her be happy. You just need to, give it up. I have no idea who that guy is, because he's introduced in issue 3, and we don't get very much with him other than him giving a pep talk to not Spider-Man. And I feel like maybe if this wanted to be a little bit better, maybe we should have focused all on, like I said, one character. And then maybe you can kill off a character at the end of this volume, and then we can say, okay, what's going to happen next? But we've still got all these other characters that we've kind of come to know over this book. Also, however long this series lasted, I don't know. Was it 9 issues, 12? I don't know. Maybe this book should have been more than just the first 4 issues, because like I said, we are still introducing characters over halfway into the book, and I feel like this whole thing is just set up for the actual story. We're still getting crazy twists and turns on the last page of this book, so I still have no idea who the main thrust of this story is supposed to be at the end of this book, and that's really not good. At the end of your first book, if you have no idea what's going on moving forward, in my opinion, that's not very good. So I don't think that this book was very good, and like I said in another video, it's kind of surprising to me that Rick Remender wrote this when he has done some really amazing comic book work elsewhere. So it really truly feels like this was written by someone else. But I did not care for the In League Ballad of the Big Nothing, Ballad of Big Nothing. So I hope you guys like this review, and I will be back in the future with something else. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day. Catch you later.